Mysterious white powder shuts down multiple elections offices across Washington. What investigators have learned about the substance and the impact it's having on our elections.
I'm tracking another round of wet weather on the way. I'll let you know if it's going to be rain or snow in your first alert forecast.
And the man accused of killing 4 of his neighbors in Kellogg, Idaho, wants his statements to investigators thrown out. We'll explain why coming up. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
This is a form of domestic terrorism. That's all that it is.
4 envelopes shut down the elections offices in Spokane, King, Pierce, and Skagit counties today, each containing a mysterious white powder. Police confirming the powder found in Spokane tested positive for traces of fentanyl. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Derek Dice.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. State and federal officials are now joining the investigation to figure out who's responsible for this attack on democracy. It is important to note there's no serious risk of injury by just touching fentanyl. Our Allison Martinez is outside of the elections office in Spokane tonight. And Allison, what can you tell us about the scene there this morning?
This morning, there was a significant police, fire, and hazmat response here at the Spokane County Elections Office. The entire office had evacuated as soon as they discovered a white powdery substance, which we now know had traces of fentanyl in it. Today, we spoke with county, state, and federal officials who are all weighing in on this threat to democracy.
And we are thankful that this was not a situation that turned dangerous.
A busy day for the Spokane County Elections Office was cut short when an employee opened an envelope containing a white powdery substance and a note.
They brought it to me. We notified the proper authorities. The building was evacuated.
Hazmat, police, and fire officials all responded. According to the Spokane Police Department, the substance tested positive for fentanyl.
The employee has not shown any symptoms of any issues or problems. However, we have closed the office for the day.
Elections across Washington have been temporarily delayed as multiple envelopes containing similar contents have been discovered. Secretary of State Steve Hobbs says this was the goal of the election deniers and extremists who he says are likely behind this.
This is a form of domestic terrorism. That's all that it is. And unfortunately, what they're doing is putting innocent people at risk and disrupting our elections, but it's not going to stop it from happening.
Secretary Hobbs says this threat is a reminder of the importance of protecting our election workers, especially with the presidential election on the horizon.
Our role here is to make sure that democracy happens, and we will be back processing ballots, envelopes, signatures, and counting ballots again tomorrow morning.
You can expect the next round of election results tomorrow at 5 p.m. For more election updates and information on this story, you can visit our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
The Pierce County auditor says the letter with white powder her office received this morning arrived in a regular envelope and came through the mail. About 30 minutes after that letter was found, police determined the substance was only baking soda. Tacoma police say there was also a note in that envelope that read, "End the election now." The auditor says while the building was evacuated, the uncounted ballots were locked and secured, and the political party observers were watching the area on camera.
At nearly the same time, at least 250 people, including political observers, were evacuated from the King County Elections Office in Renton. Officials there say hazmat crews were able to quickly deal with the white powder and there was no threat to anyone there. However, the evacuation did cause significant disruption to the ballot counting process. A police source tells 4 News Now there are obvious similarities between the incident in Spokane County and the others across the state, but they have not made a specific connection at this point. This is still developing. We will bring you the latest info as we learn more.
And because of the evacuation, we won't be getting updated election results today, including the results for the Spokane mayoral race. So, as of the most recent count from last night, Lisa Brown still leads with about 52% of the vote. But again, that gap could close once we get more updated numbers tomorrow. What we can say for sure is that Spokane County will not be getting a new jail, with 63% of people voting against the 0.2% sales tax increase in Measure 1. And now we want to hear from you. Why did you vote for or against Measure 1? To submit your answer, look for this story on KXLY.com.
Now let's take a look at some of the new results out of Kootenai County. Kootenai County's open space bond has been rejected. If it had been approved, it would have raised property taxes, and that money would have paid for a $50 million bond for the county to buy open space properties and pay for recreational amenities.
And a lot of people were getting outside today, enjoying a break from the rain while we still can.
I saw a lot of those leaves being raked, and it sounds like it's important because of some wind on the way as well. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has your first alert forecast.
Yes, windy and showery weather showing up in the extended forecast. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have some patchy morning fog for tomorrow. It's going to be a dry Thursday, and then late Thursday night, some light rain moving into the region, as well as mountain snow. Saturday, light rain, but also our winds are going to be picking up on Saturday. Temperatures right now around the region have already dropped into the 30s in many locations, including Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. It's only 35 right now in Pullman and 36 in Sandpoint. With clearing skies, our temperatures are going to drop quickly down into the 20s in most locations around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. 28 in St. Mary's, 28 for a morning low in Pullman, 28 in Spokane and Sandpoint. With those areas of patchy fog, we could run into some freezing fog on the roadways to start the day. Right about the time the fog clears, the clouds will start creeping in advance of a system on the way for tomorrow night. High of 46 degrees, just about average, 45 our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day outlook in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Just into the newsroom now. The Lewiston School District has canceled school tomorrow because of a damaged natural gas line near Pullman. Here's a photo of where an excavator hit that gas line. Avista says this incident will also impact customers in the Palouse, Pullman, and Clarkston regions, and they will likely have to disconnect gas service to customers in the area. Avista says it will provide information regarding impacts to customers just as soon as it's available.
Well, tomorrow, we should learn more about the 67-year-old woman in Spirit Lake who was found dead in her apartment. A press conference has been scheduled for tomorrow evening. Police were called to a senior living facility last Wednesday for a mental health situation. Spirit Lake police said officers encountered a female adult and an officer-involved shooting occurred. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office took over the investigation but hasn't released any further details other than identifying that woman as S.A. Floyd. The Kootenai County Sheriff and prosecutor, along with the Spirit Lake mayor, will hold a public press conference tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We'll have a crew there, and we'll bring you the very latest right here on 4 News Now at 6 and online at KXLY.com.
Quadruple murder suspect Major John Kaler wants the judge to throw out any statements he made to investigators, saying deputies did not read him his Miranda rights. Court documents say that Kaler told investigators he, quote, snapped and killed 4 of his neighbors, claiming 18-year-old Devin Smith exposed himself to his daughters.
Our Marissa Rio was in the courtroom in Wallace today and has the very latest.
According to law officials at the scene the night of the crime, Major John Kaler was not read his Miranda rights until after he already admitted to the shootings. The defense wants the statements that Kaler made before and after his rights were read to him thrown out. Lieutenant Belaski was called to the stand as a witness in today's hearing. Lieutenant Belaski is the law official who responded to the scene the night of the quadruple homicide. After Belaski arrived on scene and saw Major John Kaler, he asked what was going on. Kaler responded that he shot his neighbors. Belaski eventually handcuffed Kaler and put him in his patrol car. Belaski said he did not read Kaler his Miranda rights. The defense asked Belaski if it was because there was a hectic scene that he did not read Kaler his Miranda rights. Belaski said yes. Kaler stayed in the car for about 2 hours. Detective Klitsch was also called to the stand as a witness. He was the lead detective on the case. Klitsch said they went to a church to interview Kaler. He said his plan was to make himself more relatable to him. He said that makes the suspect more willing to speak. He talked with Kaler about a podcast on a child predator. Kaler began talking with him. At this time, Kaler still hadn't been read his Miranda rights. When the defense asked why, Klitsch said because he hadn't asked questions yet. It wasn't until later in the conversation that Klitsch read Kaler his Miranda rights. Klitsch told Kaler he needed to do procedural expletives. The defense asked if he thinks rights are just procedural expletives, to which Klitsch said no. Defense asked, why did he say that then? Klitsch said he shouldn't have. Reporting in Shoshone County, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
But there could soon be no more Chinese pandas in the U.S. How human rights violations and spy balloons may have contributed to the end of decades of panda diplomacy.
And the search for a missing Tibetan monk in Pend Oreille County, where he was last seen, next on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
26 years strong.
You can support Wishing Star during Give Back Thursdays in November with Numerica and Brick West.
Wishing Star Foundation provides hope and lasting memories for children who are battling life-threatening illnesses. We are currently working to grant over 50 wishes for children in the Inland Northwest.
Anyone who donates to Wishing Star will get some raffle tickets for some great Brick West prizes.
And for every drink sold at Brick West on Thursdays in November, Numerica Credit Union will donate $1 to Wishing Star up to $1,000.
Cheers!
November is the perfect time to make tempting treats like a sweet, savory apple pie before winter sets in. Or you could bag that idea all together and fatten up your wallet during the $50,000 Slice of Luck giveaway at Northern Quest instead. Okay, let's face it, you're never gonna make the pie.
Fatten up your wallet for winter with a $50,000 Slice of Luck giveaway. Play daily for entries, only at Northern Quest.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Why join UFCW 3000? I'm the lead person when we negotiate with employers for better wages, benefits, and working conditions.
I'm an essential worker.
During the pandemic, we couldn't work remotely.
We are workers in grocery stores,
healthcare, retail, and packing plants.
Thanks, UFCW 3000.
Our website can both answer your questions and connect you with our team who can help you explore your union opportunities.
Next ET, Kelly Clarkson on Life in New York and taking on another gig.
I'm slightly terrified that people have that much confidence in me.
Plus, Hawaii Week rolls on with Zachary Knighton. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7.
Tomorrow morning, what you don't get to see tonight on the CMA Awards, you'll see on GMA. Lara Spencer taking you behind the scenes with special GMA Backstage Access. In with the stars, the winners, even Luke and Peyton. Tomorrow morning, GMA Backstage at the CMA Awards on
Good Morning America.
Right now, the Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Office is looking for this man. He's 64 years old, and he is a Tibetan monk. They're saying he was wearing maroon robes and a jacket when he was last seen Tuesday afternoon.
It's been more than 24 hours now since he disappeared. Community members are concerned about his welfare because of the cold weather. Our Peter Choi toured the abbey this monk calls home.
This place is called Sravasti Abbey, where people are learning and practicing Buddhism. I spoke with a Buddhist nun here, and she told me one of the instructors has been missing since Tuesday afternoon, and community members are desperately searching for this monk day and night.
I mean, we're all surprised. We're all very concerned.
Senior Buddhist nun Tutum Chini says a 64-year-old Tibetan monk, Dadul Namgyel, is a great instructor for residents.
He's a wonderful scholar, a wonderful teacher, an excellent practitioner.
She says he left for a walk after lunch Tuesday afternoon, and he didn't come back for the evening meeting. She said he was new to the area.
We assume that somewhere along the line in his walk yesterday, he walked someplace he didn't know, or he walked someplace where, who knows, he fell or something.
Starting at 8 p.m. last night, the county's search and rescue team has been in the area.
Yeah, we actually stayed out a little normally than we typically do, hoping to catch up to him.
As temperature drops, the Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Office now looking at other possibilities to expedite the search. Crews are expanding the search area with more volunteers.
I believe 3 thermal-equipped drones flying the area right now. Got search and rescue teams checking the area.
The sheriff's office asking the public for help. Contact them with any information on his whereabouts.
Doing our own practice, we are doing our own prayers, we are hoping certainly and trusting that Geshe himself has a very strong and stable mind, and we'll see what happens.
Reporting near Newport, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Here's a look at your almanac today. 47 for a high. That's just a little above average. We started the day off at 33. 422 was our sunset. I will be back to tell you about the wet weather in the forecast after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
4 News Now is brought to you by Old World Christmas.
Walker's Furniture is celebrating Veterans Day with big double sales tax discounts or no money down, no minimum purchase, and 5 years no interest financing.
Making it the perfect time to improve your home for the holidays at Walker's.
5 stars. All rise for To Kill a Mockingbird. Unmissable and unforgettable. A mockingbird for our moment. Beautiful, elegiac, satisfying, even exhilarating. A New York Times Critics Pick. Mockingbird is now the most successful American play in Broadway history. All rise for Aaron Sorkin's great play. Richard Thomas is Atticus Finch in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
December 5th through 10th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
This Veterans Weekend, when you visit a Cal dealership near you, you can receive a free American flag with every test drive. Plus, with every vehicle sold, $185 will be donated to Heroes Homestead to support local veterans in our community.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show, an experience you will never forget. Discover Santa's all-new North Pole with holiday getaways starting at only $250.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need.
I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with, and not worth it.
You deserve something better and better. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality health insurance. We have plans with as low as $0 out-of-pocket premiums, a network of local doctors, and a rewards program for making healthy choices.
Nice.
That's why we're America's #1 marketplace health insurance. So call us or go online now. And Better Health. On a mission for better.
Well, here's a live look of One Spokane Stadium. No rain as of this moment in time, but that could change soon.
Yep, let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see when the next round of wet weather is supposed to arrive.
Well, it's a little more than 24 hours from now, and it is not the wet weather that we saw the first part of November. It looks impressive. Here's a look at our satellite and radar system approaching, but by the time it reaches us, there won't be much left of it, and it will be making its way in our direction Thursday night. Tomorrow night. Here's 9 p.m. and you could see even by the time it crosses the Cascades, there's just this thin line of precipitation. Could see some heavier snow in the northern Cascade passes. Washington, Stevens could get a half foot of snow. As that system makes its way through, it is mainly going to be favoring the mountain areas. There's another system behind it. We'll see the clouds increasing with this system by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, filtering our sunshine. You can see a little bit of snow making its way over the Cascades. Snow level will be dropping down to around 3,500 feet in the northern valleys. Here's 11 o'clock tomorrow night with some light rain in progress around Spokane and a little bit of snow getting down into the higher terrain of the Okanagan areas. Here's a look at our forecast snow as that cold front works its way through. You'll You'll notice Sandpoint, no accumulation. Bonners Ferry, no accumulation. None in Colville, none in Omak. It's all in those mountain areas where we could see some minor snow accumulations on this side of the Cascades. A little bit heavier once we get to pass level, as I mentioned, in the northern Cascades. Tonight, it's dry with some patchy fog developing. 28 degrees for an overnight low, so areas of freezing fog are a possibility. Tomorrow's high, 46. Partly to mostly cloudy conditions. About the time that fog clears, the high clouds start filtering our sunshine as that front approaches, but we may manage a brief period of sunshine before then. Around the region, temperatures in the 40s in most spots, 50 in St. Mary's, 53 in Lewiston, but we'll be in the 40s elsewhere around the region. Your planning forecast on Friday, a lingering chance of showers, but accumulating rain is going to be quite light in the valleys in Spokane. In general, less than 1/10 of an inch. Veterans Day Saturday, and we are looking at more very light precipitation, but stronger winds with the next system on the way. And that's the next weather maker that we're going to be tracking and talking a lot more about on Good Morning Northwest tomorrow morning, as well as on our 4 News Now First Alert weather app. Just a slight chance of rain then as we get into next week. I'll be back in the next half hour with some Wildlife Wednesday photos, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, as the war in Gaza continues to escalate, tensions here in the U.S. are on the rise. Protests are popping up all over the country, and possible hate crime incidents are setting communities on edge.
CNN's Gloria Pasmino takes a look at the impact this war is having on businesses and communities.
Chants cut through New York City's already noisy streets. Pro-Palestinian protesters taking their messages from City Hall, marching across the Brooklyn Bridge, bringing traffic to a screeching halt. Across the city, an Israeli restaurant owner says some of his pro-Palestinian employees have walked off the job because of his support for Israel. Now, people in the community are lining up to show their support.
It's really reassuring because for a lot of Jews right now, New York feels like a very dangerous, very dangerous place. So this shows their support. There's love still in the world.
In Texas, the owner of an Israeli restaurant says a burglar cut a hole in the roof of her business and damaged prayer books inside. The owner says she's received several threats recently, and police advised her to remove the Israeli flag from the front of her business.
I just don't bend that easily.
In California, authorities are giving new details on injuries sustained by a Jewish man who died from a head injury following an interaction with a pro-Palestinian demonstrator.
The autopsy demonstrated non-lethal injuries to the left side of Mr. Kessler's face. Additional injuries included injury to the back of the head.
What exactly transpired prior to Mr. Kessler falling backward isn't crystal clear right now. No arrests have been made related to this incident.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino.
Well, these tumbling, crowd-pleasing, bamboo-eating giant pandas at the National Zoo are on their way back to China. It's a program that first started in 1972 during the Richard Nixon presidency, when 2 pandas were gifted to the U.S. by China as a symbol of improving diplomatic relations. But with issues like human rights, Chinese balloons over the U.S., and Beijing's close relationship with Russia, tensions are high. So now only 4 Chinese pandas remain in the U.S. at the Atlanta Zoo.
All right, still ahead, how to avoid common mistakes while calling 911 that could lead to longer wait times for you and others during an emergency.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
This Veterans Weekend, when you visit a Cal dealership near you, you can receive a free American flag with every test drive. Plus, with every vehicle sold, $185 will be donated to Heroes Homestead to support local veterans in our community.
Is your home in need of a remodel? Then transform your living space with help from Costless Carpet.
Have you heard about Costless Carpet's new Rhino SPC? It's changing the flooring industry. Durable, waterproof, with amazing looks that are blowing our customers away. Rhino SPC has 20 and 30 mil wear layers, making it more durable and easy to install. Costless Carpet stocks over 25 different visuals and has wide planked woods and 12 by 24 tile designs too. To find your nearest store, visit costlesscarpet.com.
It's time to remodel your bathroom, but you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually, it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
This washer and dryer set is on sale for only $3.99 each. This is Fred's lowest price ever on a Samsung top-load laundry pair.
Fred's has a limited supply of Samsung top-load laundry pairs marked down over 40%.
This family-size laundry set easily handles big loads and comes with a soft-close lid that closes safely and quietly.
Only $3.99 each for a Samsung laundry set is a terrific value.
Let Fred's experts help you take advantage of Black Friday savings.
Did you see this? It says most people are going to need long-term care that health insurance and Medicare won't cover.
I saw that, and it got me thinking, if I need to pay for home modifications or in-home care, I am not prepared. Are you?
Not really. I mean, whatever happens, I just want to know that I'll be able to get care and stay in my own home as I age.
Right? I want that too. So,
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. November 10th and 11th, First Interstate Center for the Arts. On sale now.
4 News Now is brought to you by Foothills Mazda.
New at 6, we all spend a little too much time scrolling on our phones, and all that screen time can have an impact on our health.
It's especially hard on teens. ABC's Ariel Reshev explains how one 17-year-old cut down her social media use and the importance of taking control of your screen time.
Like much of Gen Z, 17-year-old Kate Romalewski says for years she was hooked to her phone, spending hours scrolling on social media.
I would just lay in the same position for like easily 6 hours, 7 hours straight. And afterwards, I just felt like such a zombie.
But this morning, the New York City teen is opening up about how and why she dramatically cut back.
When someone has 100 millions of followers and they look a certain way, act a certain way, and are this standard of beauty almost, I just immediately interpret that as the reason I don't have those things is because I'm not good enough and I'm not pretty enough.
Kate decided to download an app called Opal, which helps limit screen usage, first plugging in some info about her habits. The results?
They gave me the statistic that I was on track to spend 17 years of my life on my phone by the time I turned like 60 or 70. And that was my biggest wake-up call.
The teen says she was shaken, deciding not only was her social media a drain on her time, but on her happiness. Earlier this year, the Surgeon General warning up to 95% of young people ages 13 to 17 reported using a social media platform, and more than a third saying they use social media almost constantly. Adding, with adolescence and childhood representing a critical stage in brain development that can make young people more vulnerable to harms from social media.
When I'm not constantly scrolling through social media, I feel like there's just like a huge weight off my shoulders.
Experts say limiting the amount of time kids spend in front of a screen is critical for their mental well-being.
Number 1, set reasonable limits. Explain to your kids that social media use should never interfere with school activities, homework, meals, or sleep. And lastly, talk openly with your teen about your concerns and the risks of too much social media use.
That last point, so important. Got to talk to him about it. All right, we have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including how a deer in New Jersey helped one man get a great deal on a new pickup.
During an emergency, we're stressed, we're scared, and it's hard to communicate. But that lack of communication actually makes it harder for emergency responders to get to you in an emergency. Coming up, I'll share the tips that they have to alleviate that response time.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
Do you have property damage? Burke's Restoration provides full-service emergency response for residential and commercial disasters. Wind damage? Burke's can handle that. Is flooding your problem? Burke's Restoration knows just what to do. Fire or smoke damage? Call Burke's today. You didn't plan on a disaster, but you have a choice on who restores it. Choose the best. Burke's Restoration takes care of fire, smoke, wind, or water damage and more. Tell your insurance company you choose Burke's Restoration. Call or click today.
Country music's biggest night has explosive collaborations. And country music's biggest stars come together for a tribute to Jimmy Buffett.
Let's go!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live tonight on ABC.
Walker's Furniture is celebrating Veterans Day with big double sales tax discounts or no money down, no minimum purchase, and 5 years no interest financing.
Making it the perfect time to improve your home for the holidays at Walker's.
We are unstoppable.
From the stories you should know.
Some of these areas are just really hard to reach.
We're in the air with U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
To the stories you need to know.
Just how scary can it be to have a trained police dog chase you down?
From the stories that change the way you think.
It's the biggest event of the year.
To the stories that affect the way you feel.
Cheers.
Inside Edition.
These are the stories that impact your life.
Tomorrow at 7, only on 4 News Now. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Is it happening right now? Did it happen 5 minutes ago? Is the threat still there?
These are the questions you'll need to answer if you call 911. Timing is everything during an emergency. Spokane County dispatchers say callers have been hanging up, which delays everyone's response times.
Yeah, just last month, 911 callers were on hold for an average of just 14 seconds. For Crime Check callers, it was 21 seconds. Some callers have been hanging up, though, and then calling back out of frustration, which only makes wait times much longer for everyone because every second counts. Bronte Sorotsky has what dispatchers want you to know.
During an emergency, we're stressed and we're scared, and it's hard to communicate. But that lack of communication can actually delay emergency responders.
Our staff is highly trained, and they can typically get that first part out within the first 30 to 60 seconds of being on the phone with a caller.
But dispatchers can only do this if people stay on the line and have all of their information ready. They need to know things like your exact location, what happened, and whether a threat is still there.
Answering the questions that are asked is really important, not adding out or not adding into other information that's not as relevant to what's happening right now.
Last month, the average time someone in Spokane County calling 911 was put on hold was just 14 seconds. They say recently they've heard concerns from the community about these wait times. Some people are just hanging up and calling back. By doing that, callers increase wait times for themselves and everyone else.
Our average call answer time for emergency calls is typically 16 to 20 seconds max. So 16 to 20 seconds, a lot can be happening to them in that time.
In an emergency, you can't afford to waste even a second. It's why the Spokane Regional Emergency Communications Office wants to remind the community what it needs from callers during an emergency.
That's why we say that there is a delay. If you're calling into 911 and you hang up, now a call receiver who could have been answering a call will take the time to call that person back, and they could have already been answered by another call receiver if they had called back in.
Even if you call accidentally, let your dispatcher know immediately. The seconds you save could mean everything to someone actually in an emergency. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Live look over the One Spokane Stadium. It is chilly in the stands tonight, but we are going to have an even crisper morning around the region. Here's a look at our current temperatures. Right now, it's 39 in Spokane. We're in the 30s in most locations, just a few 40s on the map, but we're going to be cooling down into the 20s in Spokane, Pullman, 28 in Sandpoint, only 24 in Colville, and 28 degrees in Ritzville. Some patchy fog developing by early tomorrow morning may result in those sparkly streets and sidewalks. You know those are slick, but they will not stay slick for long because we are going to be warming up nicely. Here's a look at the morning lows right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, including 26 at Spirit Lake, 27 degrees in Deer Park early tomorrow morning. We are going to have dry conditions for Thursday with patchy morning fog, light rain coming in late Thursday night. Saturday, the possibility of more light rain, including some gusty winds. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and some Wildlife Wednesday photos in just a few minutes, Derek.
Looking forward to it. Well, student workers at Washington State University are going on strike. The union representing the students says their list of demands includes a livable wage, adequate health insurance, and protections against harassment and discrimination.
Lock it or lose it, warns Coeur d'Alene police after several thefts in local gym locker rooms. Police say suspects were able to get into those locked lockers, taking wallets and in some cases car keys, searching cars for valuables. The suspects then used the stolen credit and debit cards to buy thousands of dollars of items. The department says you should take extra measures to prevent yourself from your stuff being stolen, like hiding your valuables inside your locker with a quality lock, or even just leaving your wallet and purse at home.
Strep throat cases are on the rise across the U.S., largely in children between 4 and 12 years old. That's according to the CDC. But the antibiotics to treat it are hard to come by. The most common antibiotic to treat the infection is amoxicillin. According to the FDA, its powder form has been in shortage since October of 2022. Capsule and tablet forms aren't on the shortage list, but experts say those are not suitable for some children. While anyone can get strep throat, it is most common among kids ages 5 to 15. Symptoms include fever, sore throat, and pain when swallowing.
New at 6:30, former President Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka took the stand today in the lawsuit against her father and 2 of her brothers.
And while she's not named a defendant, prosecutors want to question her since she was once the executive vice president for the family's real estate business. Jen Sullivan takes us inside the courtroom with details on Ivanka's testimony.
Former President Donald Trump's daughter appearing on the witness stand Wednesday in the New York civil fraud trial against her family's corporation. Ivanka Trump dodging questions after being grilled for more than 3 hours about her possible involvement in this case.
You cannot hide from the truth.
New York's Attorney General is suing the former president and the Trump Organization for $250 million, claiming the family's corporation inflated the values of Trump properties, golf courses, hotels, and homes, some by millions of dollars, all in hopes of securing loans for his business.
She was very much involved. We uncovered this scheme, and she benefited from it personally.
Unlike her father and brothers, Ivanka is not a defendant in this case. Wednesday, a lawyer for the AG's office asked Ivanka about a purchase option on her apartment at Trump Park Avenue for $8.5 million. But the value of that apartment was listed on the Trump statement of financial condition for $20.8 million. Ivanka testifying, "I wasn't involved in his statement of financial condition, so I can't say what it took into account or didn't take into account." The former president took the stand Monday. His sons, Eric and Don Jr., testified last week. The judge already ruled that the former president is liable for fraud, and now he's considering how much the Trumps will have to pay in damages. Regardless of what happens, the Trumps will likely appeal. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Well, Washington State football could have a fully healthy roster against Cal Saturday. The latest injury report from Pullman coming up next in sports.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
At Dishman Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep, we're making it a November to remember by offering great buys on our best-selling Ram trucks and Jeep lineup, with special markdowns on all pre-owned SUVs and 4-wheel drives. But the best offer is with every vehicle sold, you'll get a free big screen TV with the purchase, making it the perfect time to visit our family-owned dealership at Dishman.
Dishman Dodge. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When your toilet's running, your drain is clogged, you've blown a fuse, or your outlet has suddenly just stopped working, your local Ace Hardware store has just what you need to take care of those overwhelming plumbing and electrical issues today. We're right around the corner with a large selection of plumbing and electrical supplies in stock. And we've got the helpful folks that'll answer all your plumbing and electrical questions. Come see us today.
For over 20 years, Snow's Auto has been selling all the best brands at the guaranteed best prices in Spokane. And to celebrate this year's 20th anniversary sale, you can get 20% off all amps, speakers, and subwoofers, 20% off truck and Jeep lifts, 20% off remote starts, and 20% off window tints, plus up to 60% off last year model clearance items. So if you want nice upgrades at big anniversary savings, hurry down to Snow's Auto today.
Food insecurity is really fairly common with college students. We love to offer a donation each year to the WSU Student Pantry.
The WSU Campus Pantry is for WSU and Eastern students, so we provide free groceries to students. I know that BECU has supported us with monetary donations this year and the last 2 years, and it's one of the reasons why donations from the community, like we got from BECU, really matter, because it is just people helping people.
Considering selling your RV? R&R wants it. Tired of paying storage fees? R&R needs it. Just don't use it anymore? R&R will buy it. Due to a critical shortage of pre-owned RVs, R&R RV is currently paying absolute top dollar for your used RV. Any year, any make, any model. Turn your RV into cash or flip it for a newer model. So if you no longer use it or want it, let R&R RV buy it. Visit the R&R RV Superstore in Liberty Lake or call Keith at 509-499-2601.
Missed it by that much. Jokes aside, that young buck cost a truck owner in New Jersey $1,000. The person getting out of this white SUV was a potential buyer for the pickup. The deer dented the side of that truck. God, it looks like that hurt. Just as the buyer was pulling up. But the man seized on that opportunity to get $1,000 off the asking price.
I feel bad for the deer.
Oh, my.
I mean, that would have been a spectacular jump, right? Had he made the whole thing, but the whole thing is just, it's crazy.
His little tail.
And that poor guy's out $1,000 because of it.
I know, but he got a viral video.
Yeah, he did.
That's true. He should have paid an extra $1,000 for it with that video. Oh gosh, and I know that probably cost him more than that to get it fixed. Well, I don't have any jumping deer, but I do have some pretty cool pictures in tonight's Wildlife Wednesday from Mark Poe. He says this is it. This has got to be the last bear of winter, a big old bear, and he says as big as this bear was, that he's ready to sleep until late next spring. So he just captured this week. They are still out there, but he's looking very, very drowsy, and it won't be long now. Time to take a snooze. Nora Jen, much calmer deer here in Cooley Dam. She spotted this mule deer mom and her 2 yearling fawns just looking adorable there in the dry brush and sort of smiling, maybe speaking to Nora the way it looks. I love those ears. Definitely listening. And this just melts my heart, this photo. Oh my goodness. Courtney Litwin shared this photo of 2 canoodling wood ducks, the drake, the male there in the vibrant colors, and his significant other there on the left, all cuddled up and ready to go to warmer climates. So get along, wood ducks. It is eventually going to cool down. I feel like everybody's staying just a little bit later than they should. I wonder if they know what I know about the temperatures in the forecast. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar right now. We have cleared out nicely across the region after being socked in with some low clouds and fog for a good portion of the day. We do have a system that is approaching way out out in the Pacific right now. That is going to bring some heavier snow to the northern Cascade passes, Washington, Stevens Pass, minor accumulations on Snoqualmie Pass. And then as it makes its way into the inland northwest, there will not be much left of it to produce a whole lot of precipitation. Whoops, I went right past how much precipitation we're going to get. Dry through Friday. Here's Friday at 5, and then we start to see that very light rain developing. This is Friday at 5. 24 hours later, we see just a few hundredths of an inch around the region, including some light mountain snow on this side of the mountains. Our chance of precipitation is not very impressive. 30% chance Friday, 30% chance Saturday, down to 10 on Sunday, 20 on Monday. It is just going to be dribs and drabs. You don't want to do any painting outside because you'll get some splatters on it, but it is not going to be enough to cancel any plans. About the only plan canceling weather we have in the forecast comes on Saturday in the form of some gusty winds. We will be dialing in on the timing on those winds and how strong they're going to be as we get closer to time. Right now, it looks like we could have 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Not very pleasant weather. And again, hit and miss showers that are not going to amount to much. Temperatures, meanwhile, up into the 50s by next week. And that's between 5 and 10 degrees above average. Plus, tonight may be our last night in Spokane below freezing. Looks like we're going to be above through the rest of the 7-day forecast. Eric.
All right, Chris, thank you. The Coeur d'Alene Fire Department says their hydrants are in need of a facelift.
The department wants you to help design them. So all you have to do to submit a design is download a blank template and submit it before the end of the month. In December, 2 winners will be selected to bring their design to life outside of Fire Station on East Foster Avenue. You can find the link to download your template right now on KXLY.com. A Florida mom is suing American Airlines after using its unaccompanied minors service.
She claims her 2 children were put in a jail-like room for a night after their connecting flight was canceled. ABC's Gio Benitez has the story.
This morning, a Florida mother suing American Airlines, claiming it misplaced her 2 children.
It's a feeling no parent ever wants to feel.
Last summer, Amber Vensel's 2 sons, a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, were traveling with the American Airlines unaccompanied minor service from Missouri to New York with a layover in North Carolina. It's a service costing around $150 each way. But the connecting flight in Charlotte got canceled after several delays. Vensel says the airline emailed to inform her the boys would be on a flight the next day.
I have faith that during the transitions at the airports, they would be with a flight attendant since they had that service.
The boys didn't have their own phone, and Vensel claims she was not able to contact them at a phone number where the airline said the boys could be reached. After several hours, Vensel finally reaching them through an airport employee. She claims the boys were put in a, quote, cold room akin to a jail cell overnight.
I asked them if they had anything to eat or drink, and they were like, no, Mom.
American Airlines telling ABC News, the safety and comfort of our customers, including unaccompanied minors in our care, are our highest priorities. We have been in touch with Ms. Vensel directly, and we are reviewing the details of the lawsuit.
And I knew that this was a chance that I had to make sure that it didn't happen to anyone else.
Now, Vensel says American Airlines did refund that unaccompanied minor fee, but she says she's heard nothing else from the airline. At LaGuardia Airport, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
All right, as we head to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
It's country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards, live.
This is a dream come true.
With performances by Kelsey Ballerini, Luke Combs, Jordan Davis, The Warren Treaty, Ashley McBride, Cody Johnson, Hardy, Morgan Wallen, and Post Malone. Plus, a can't-miss Jimmy Buffett tribute featuring Kenny Chesney with Matt McAnally, Zach Brown Band, and Alan Jackson. Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live tonight on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
We love our house, but lately we've been feeling a little
cramped.
So we talked to ICCU about a new home loan. The process was super quick, and we got a really great rate.
We start house hunting tomorrow.
Preferably something with a bigger garage.
Santa returns to Spokane's River Park Square Shopping Center Saturday, November 18th, presented by STCU. Festivities begin at 1 o'clock, and Santa arrives to light the tree at 5 with special guest appearances and entertainment. Plus bonus fun, the Lego store opens at River Park Square November 10th. Learn more, reserve a time for Santa photos, and plan your holly jolly holiday season at riverparksquare.com.
This is your season to smile with Aspen Dental dentures or implants. To gather together and discover the moments that matter. To jump into the fun and join in the celebration. To help get you ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic anniversary savings event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with 20% off your denture or implant care. Whichever option you need, our team of experts is ready to help guide your decision and start your journey. Aspen Dental. Book today.
At Finley Downtown Toyota, there's never been a better time to trade up to something better, as we are loaded up with the best selection of new and used vehicles to choose from, with great financing options available.
Finley Toyota's downtown.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. The winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. At the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. The winning is just the beginning.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book, arriving in mailboxes this week. There's 16 pages of great store-wide savings, including everything you need to fill the pantry for the holidays. At Bi-Mart, our members save more every day.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Well, a couple of Spokane Chiefs spent time with Robin Nance at Teen and Kid Closet in tandem with their Sturm Heating and Clothing Drive happening later this month. You can see in the photos that this was really fun. They were hanging out with the kids, doing some play in there with the toddlers, helping and packing to sort through donations. So nice to see them volunteering.
Go Chiefs go. Right now, if you donate some clothes at the Chiefs ticket office between now and November 19th, you'll get a discount coupon for either a game or the team store. Not bad. All right, the Cougs will be looking to break their 5-game losing streak on the road Saturday in Berkeley.
And they're going to have to make a couple adjustments as the team is dealing with some injuries. Let's send it over to sports director Julian Minenso now to see who could be sitting this game out.
Well, the team trainers have been hard at work over those last 5 weeks, and it could help the Cougars on Saturday. Washington State football is hopeful to have a handful of key players to return for Saturday's game against Cal. Wide receiver Lincoln Victor, running backs Nakia Watson and Dylan Payne, and defensive players Shaw Smith-Wade and Quinn Roth all practiced today, so that's a good sign. Head coach Jake Dickert is planning for a majority of them to be back on the field on Saturday. The Cougars, they've been hit with a number of injuries over the past few weeks, which has contributed to their 5-game losing streak. Here's a look at the full injury report. Washington State will take on Cal at 1 o'clock Saturday, and you can watch the game on ESPN2. Right now, the Cougars are 1.5-point underdogs. And we are 24 hours away from the biggest sporting event in our region this week. Washington State women's basketball will host Gonzaga tomorrow, and there's a lot on the line. Both teams are expected to make the NCAA tournament. Both teams also go head-to-head in recruiting in the Northwest. It's an important game for bragging rights, and Washington State head coach Cami Etheridge says this matchup is a good benchmark to see how they stack up against one of the best programs in the country in Gonzaga.
I just can't imagine this team being anything but just thrilled about playing a rivalry game and someone that you want to beat. And obviously it's a statement game for us because it either, lets everybody know that we really are, stepping up in a top 25 team, or maybe we're not. But it's a great challenge to go against a fantastic program like Gonzaga.
Washington State will also be getting their Pac-12 tournament championship rings tomorrow night. That ceremony is at 6:45. Tip-off against Gonzaga is at 7 o'clock. And we're going to have team coverage right here on 4 News Now. Now, the Gonzaga women's and men's basketball teams will be rocking these jerseys this week. It's all to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. The turquoise represents friendship and fellowship of Native American cultures. The Gonzaga men will wear them Friday for their regular season opener against Yale, and the women will wear them Sunday against Toledo. So the women aren't wearing them against the Cougs tomorrow, but tomorrow is going to be a huge game. Early litmus test for both teams, for sure.
Yeah, fun to have that ring ceremony, too, for winning the Pac-12 title.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Country music's biggest night has explosive collaborations. And country music's biggest stars come together for a tribute to Jimmy Buffett.
Let's go!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live tonight on ABC.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, Tone Loc, Color Me Bad, and Young MC. Saturday, November 18th. Spokane live at Spokane Tribe Casino. Tickets on sale now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com.
With holidays right around the corner, Ironstone Furniture and Fire is offering discounts on all in-stock dining sets, along with simplicity, indulgence, and endless possibilities. So, when you're looking for dining at its best, visit Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Friday, November 17th, Spokane Arena. The Kaleidoscope Tour. Tickets are on sale now at LaurenDaigle.com. Lauren Daigle, live in concert.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, Tone Loc, Color Me Bad, and Young MC. Saturday, November 18th. Spokane live at Spokane Tribe Casino. Tickets on sale now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
We have some breaking sports news to report. Gonzaga's forward Steele Venters is going to be out for the season. This is according to Jeff Goodman, College Basketball Insider. A knee injury. Venters is out for the season. He transferred to Gonzaga this year from Eastern Washington, where he was the Big Sky Player of the Year and their leading three-point shooter, averaging 15 points a game. Venters was a starter at Gonzaga for the first exhibition game, but according to Goodman, he will be out for the season. We're going to have more tonight at 11 o'clock. Chris?
Oh, that is a bummer. Dry conditions tomorrow. We have a little bit of light rain coming in late Thursday. All those raindrops on your screen are not going to amount to much.
Okay. Chris, thanks so much.
Rain, wind,
little
maybe
this, little
no
that.
snow.
In the mountains, yeah, where a lot of people like it.
See you.